We're talking about bullying, and back with Gabriella van Rij, and also Brandon Moeller from the Clark County School District. We were just chatting about school starting.
Yes.
Right? I mean, you want to get off to a good start on anti-bullying. I mean, Clark County School District has been sending this message out, for quite a while. We've had, a few instances that have not been pleasant in the school district. Gabriella is saying middle school is like the most offensive place for bullying.
Well, statistically, that's where it begins. That's where we see kids really begin to break out. And actually, it starts a little bit earlier than that. Around 4th or 5th grade, they begin to start honing their skills, so to speak. And by middle school, you really begin to see them blow up to an extent, because they're really trying to find out who they are. They're trying to, fit into the cliques or what have you. So you'll see more of it definitely peak at middle school, and then it begins to taper off during high school.
Why do you think it tapers off?
I think it's a combination of things. Some of it is they finally found out who they are. They finally found out where they're going to be. They're matured. They're getting ready to move on to college and whatnot. So I think that's a big play of it. And hopefully parents and teachers have made a difference during that time, and I think that's a big part of it.
Yeah, it seems to me, my experience with my kids, that so much of this happens in the cafeteria. Who you're going to sit with, there's cliques, there's stuff going on in the cafeterias. Is that because, it's obviously, I would think because that's the one time in the day where all the kids are kind of grouped together, right?
It actually goes on in all different areas. Our department, the Equity and Diversity Education Department, works with multiple departments in the district. In one department, Threat and Evaluation, they actually go out to the school and they do a GPS type thing of the school where they find out where the hot spots of the school are, and they relay that to the administration of that school and teachers, so they're able to find out where this stuff goes on. Sometimes it's in the cafeteria, sometimes it's in a little hidden corner where you would not think this stuff is happening, but the students are very active in that and helping identify that, and then that's great information for the principals, because they can go and actually position people in those areas or start walking those areas and do a prevention in that area.
And oftentimes the principal or the school officials don't even know about this until it's maybe multiple episodes have occurred.
Well, true, because usually as we know, as victims, they don't want to speak out. Victims, get shy, they get withdrawn, they don't want to tell anybody. So it does take a while to get it to administrators at times. That's why we also created the Say No to Bully website that's on our district website, our main website, and then it's also on every school's website. And basically what you can do is log in there, you can identify what school you're at, it's anonymous, and you can say what the incident is, where it occurred, and that information is sent directly to the administrator as a red light to their email. You got to investigate this, which is what they do.
And what do they do? What is the process?
As far as what they do, the minute they get an email, a call, awareness about that, they start an investigatory process where they start interviewing the children, the students, anybody who's involved, other teachers that maybe witnessed it, and it's just like a cop doing a detective type thing. They just go through that whole process of finding out where it happened, who it is. They start bringing in the counselor, counseling's done, parents are notified. They do a lot.
And in most instances, I can see how that would work. But what happens in those cases where somebody's bullying me, and I'm afraid to say something because I'm afraid of the consequences they may suffer from the bully? So I send in an anonymous something on your, what's the website again?
Say No to Bullying.
Say No to Bullying. Bullying. SayNoToBullying.com, is that what it is?
It's actually just within CCSD's website.
So you have to go into the Clark County website, and then you can find the menu item for that. Yeah. So, and I report it there. So now the counselor or the principal or whoever gets the report, and how do they investigate it when the victim is anonymous?
Well, that's where we do try to do more of the preventive measures of letting people know about the website, trying to let them know, give as much information of who the students are. But what it does is at least sets up a red flag for the administration in the school to start looking that there is an issue somewhere out there that they got to start looking into. Of course, if the child or parent doesn't feel that anonymous plea did enough for them, or they don't feel that they've received enough support, the best thing to do is tell the teacher. And we always say tell the teacher. It's not tattling, it's telling them there's an incident occurring, I need support. And also saying the same thing to the parents. If you don't feel that you're getting that, talk to your teacher, talk to the administration. They're there for you, and they want to hear that because it's important to them. If it's not dealt with, it destroys, or it could destroy school as far as the climate and everybody getting together and working on education, which is what we're here for.
What's the most typical type of bullying you observe at the Clark County School District?
Well, again, statistically, right now the big one is texting. Kids are doing that. They're using their cell phones a lot more, and I really think that's another reason that this has really come to the forefront so quick with technology's boom and how fast that information can be transmitted so quickly. You send a text, it shoots across that whole school within 5 minutes, and rather than it just being a remark between maybe 5 or 6 kids, it's also damaging. Now you send it through text, and the whole school knows. And then from wherever it goes from there, it just makes it that much more magnified.
So what would the school district do? Let's say you discovered the text. It's not appropriate. It gets reported to a counselor. They investigate. They call in the perpetrator, have a conversation. Then what happens?
Well, it's going to be dependent on what the whole occurrence was, but in general, they would deal with that child as far as doing counseling, what is good, what is bad, and then contact the parents, let them know they did something that is wrong and inappropriate. And then there's other steps. If the child does it again and again and again, there's progressive discipline that goes in, and a due process that basically takes place as in any other format. And that's what happens. I mean, you can get, if you take it that far, you can get expelled for doing bullying.
Does that happen in our school district?
Currently, the numbers on that are very low because our intervention is working out really well, so there's no big numbers on kids being expelled for bullying, but as far as us jumping in and intervening before it gets to that stage, yes, we're doing that.
And what happens if you find something on a social website that occurred after school hours?
Oh, that's a good question. I actually got a call from a parent one time about that, that they felt that their child had gotten suspended because they sent out some threatening, very vulgar type remark on their social network, and everybody in the school knew about it, and the parent was saying, this happened off school hours, shouldn't affect my child, and the school district doesn't have authority. Where a school district does have authority is when anything that's done off-site affects the school environment at the school and makes it a hostile or a type of environment that is not conducive to learning, we can jump in and we can do stuff. And that child was called on that. That incident had to be pulled off that website, and the child ended up being suspended for a few days.
Gabriella, what do you want the school districts to do?
I would like to see a synergy between the parents and the educators within the school, and that's difficult to do. I mean, I really know that. I think the educators try, but I think my biggest problem is that I would like to see parents of bullies talk more. Because if we all talk together on both sides of the aisle, we could actually make a really safe environment. And like you just said, it's about education.
Yeah, it is.
It's about nothing else.
It's about getting out there and doing professional development, not just for teachers, but for parents and for students, and that's what we do. And we really try to get out there and let them know the difference between an upstander, somebody who stands up and says, this isn't the way it's going to be, and that's going to change the climate of the school, and also letting them know not to be a bystander, that person that stands there and watches it happen and just kind of goes, those kids we really got to let know. And again, also parents too, don't be a bystander, be an upstander.
Yeah, I've noticed with my kids, they've gotten some counseling on the bystander thing. And so they understand that silence sometimes is aiding and abetting the issue.
Definitely.
Right. So now as the new school year is beginning, what is the, I mean, is there a program in the beginning of school that addresses bullying right in front of the start of the school year?
Well, like I said, every school will go over the rules and the regulations of their school and what their climate is and their character education program that they're using. But for district-wide stuff, there's Operation Respect and Welcoming Schools, which is a partnership which is working with 11 pilot schools, and we're also going to be including 5 more schools in that subject area, and that's going under study, so we can really see how that tool works in the district and if it really raises that level of awareness. And so far it looks very promising. And again, that'll be another tool that we can offer out district-wide as a support. But we also again take off right from the beginning of the year doing professional development, awareness, and getting that message out there and doing stuff just like this, talking to you, which is great.
And how does a parent know if their kid's a bully? I mean, most parents aren't going to, want to believe this.
I don't think we want to believe it because it's deniability. We love our children, no matter what they do, and which is a good thing, by the way. And so, but I think the bully shows signs, warning signs, just like a victim does. And if a parent really pays attention, it sees that.
What would be a typical sign?
Acting out. I think a bully acts out at home too. I think it's desperate for attention, and that's why it works in school, right? It works in school because when it feels powerful and it gets a group, then there's action for the bully. So at home it must want to seek the same thing, and so I think parents really do know that, and they're aggressive.
Mm-hmm. When I went to school, it was, what we call bullying today was the type of thing, well, okay, big deal, just go home and deal with it. Right? Yeah. Is it worse today? I mean, is that why it's a bigger problem?
Well, I think it's always been an issue, and that's one of the other things we try to get out there, because people say, it's not a big thing. I handled it, I lived through it. Right. And I had my things that happened to me also when I went through school. But like I said, I think what's happened now is that it has expanded beyond, a group of 10 kids or something like that having an issue with it. It's really blown up to where lots of kids are knowing about it very quick. And I think it's that social media and the cyberbullying and the texting that just makes it, explosive.
It's a great issue to continue to explore. Brandon Moeller from the Clark County School District, thank you. And with all my might, Gabriella van Rij, and you can Amazon.com. You get everything there. I know that. Even a bathtub. Okay. Thank you very much. And go to that website. Check out the website, the Clark County School District website. Don't be a victim. See you next week.